Hi guys, welcome to Perseverance Software Training Institute. I'm Sai Charan. Right, so in this particular Kubernetes series, right? So now we'll be looking into replica set. All right. So, all right. So by the name implies, so replica set. It is a set of replicas. What are replicas? Replicas are nothing but the copies of something. That something is our pod, all right, meaning, so basically what we have seen is we have pod inside which we have containers, inside which we have our applications running, correct? So this is the you know uh, knowledge what we have gained until now, right? So now, so for example, I have a cluster where I have a worker node. Maybe I have two worker nodes on which my application is deployed on one worker node as a pod. So what if the users are connected to this application, and if this particular pod went down or it is crashed, right? It is not healthy and it is not accepting any traffic from the external users. So what is the situation for the application? So users cannot be able to connect to the app because the pod itself is not available, right? So in that context, what we need to do is we need to go for replica set. So instead of directly deploying a pod as seen in the previous lecture, so we now deploy applications as part of replica sets. So let me make you guys clear that. So now what we'll do is I'll specify a count of replicas, maybe like three. So what happens is if I specify a count of replicas like three, so we have our application deployed in three different pods. Okay, three different pods. So this is one pod, this is one pod, and this is one pod, because this is as per the count of replicas. All right. So this type of deployment, if I deploy multiple replicas of the same application, so we call, we can deploy this using an object on Kubernetes which is called as a replica set. Okay, you can able to see the same here in this particular image. So if you see here, so we have user here, right? And we have three worker nodes. Okay, so three worker nodes. So if I have basically updated or developed my manifest with a replica count of three. So and if I deploy this as replica set, right? So if you want to deploy replicas, definitely you need replica set, okay, with no option. Yeah, all right. So in this particular case, we have three nodes here, three worker nodes. If you see, my count is three, so I have three pods deployed with my same application. So that now what happens is, if the users are connected to this application, right, inside this, running inside this pod, users are also connected to these two pods because all three pods have the same application. In case of this particular pod goes down, the users are at that point of time routed, directed to this two pods, all right, this pod or this pod. Meanwhile, what happens is, this pod, as our replica count is three, so but this is our desired state, but the current state is we are only having two pods, right? So replicas, it will auto deploy another pod. Okay, so how it will share the pods is like, it depends, right? So if I have two worker nodes, so maybe I can have two replicas running here on worker node 1 and one replica running here on worker node 2. So it depends on control plane decision making, all right? But replica set is something which ensures high availability, all right, of our applications. So as per the given count, maybe now the count of replicas is 5. So maybe in this worker node I can have two here, one pod. Okay, so that any of the pod, in case if it goes down, so the traffic is directed to other pods. Meanwhile, the pod which went down or which is crashed or something, that will be automatically created. Okay, so always it ensures our desired state each is achieved. All right, our desired state is 5 replicas, right? So that is the thing. All right, fine guys. If you see here, so this is the manifest of our replica set. So if you see here, so now the API version is this, and kind, if you see, it is replica set and with the count of 3. Okay, all right. All right, we'll do one thing. We'll deploy replica set in a next lecture. All right. So for this lecture, just target on what is replica set. So before I close this, to maintain multiple number of application pods, we go with replica sets. Why we should maintain multiple number of application pods? To achieve high availability, meaning like in case one of the pod goes down or any of the pods goes down, somebody should monitor and recreate the pod as per the count given. And also the traffic should be directed to healthy pod. So everything is taken care by replica set, I mean all over the control plane, right? Components. All right. So that's the thing. So scenario is 5. So consider only 4 active pods are running, one got breakdown. So automatically replica set will deploy another pod with the running with the same application and configuration. All right. Fine. Fine guys. Thank you so much.